You are probably not even lazy. You are just lacking clarity. And the story that you keep telling yourself, it keeps distracting you and it keeps swirling in your brain. And really, what needs to happen is to just get it out of our head. And maybe you've tried to do that, but I'm going to teach you just by writing it down. So, in that first box, that first step, I want you to go ahead and write down the things that you tell yourself.
If you're tired of the overwhelm, the endless to-do list, and done with feeling like you're barely holding it all together, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Victoria, a time management coach just for single moms. Get ready to trade the chaos for clarity and the control for peace. Here on this podcast, I'll talk about simple steps to manage your time, strengthen your faith, and show up with confidence as the mom God created you to be and the mom you know you want to be. So grab your emotional support water bottle and let's go. Hello, and that first part of the podcast that you heard was part of the Day 1 Chaos to Calm workshop module. And if you want to get Day 1 for free, go and use the link in the show notes or go to stan.store/Victoria Garris and sign up to get the free first day of the Chaos to Calm workshop. You'll get a free workbook template to fill out with that, and it will help you start your journey from going to overwhelmed to organized. So I hope that you take the time to check that out. It will be so beneficial to you. It's completely free and you can do it at your own pace. If you need to pause the video and come back to it later, that's totally fine. The workbook will also be fillable, so you can just download it to your phone and fill it out on your phone if you don't have a printer, but you can also print it as well. And you'll also be able to check out the Facebook group and post your homework there so you can see what other single moms are doing and how they're starting their journeys as well. I can't wait to see you in Day 1 of the Chaos to Calm workshop. All right, let's start the show. So you never expect to hear the words, "We're letting you go." You never expect to become a single parent. You never expect to be quitting a job that you probably worked really hard to get, but in the end, it just didn't work out. And you never expect to find yourself in the situation or circumstance that you're currently in. And you don't plan for when life takes a turn for the worst or even just not the best. And so then what do? Do you just fold like a chair and let the tumultuous roller coaster of life happen to you? Well, you could, but where would you be after 1 month of that? 2 months, 3 months, 6 months? You probably don't know what the next right step is, but I can tell you that any step is better than no step at all. Because momentum builds off of momentum. And in my years of trying to be consistent and stay the course with being organized and making sure I'm taking care of myself and my home, I have learned that I have felt the most alive and just, I don't know, like electric even. That sounds weird. But it's been where I'm consistently doing something towards the goal that I have. And I would get mad and frustrated when I would see people being able to figure it out and, they had this perfect routine down and whatnot. And, me over here, I'm just trying to figure out how to just stay off of my phone for a week. But what could I have done sooner? Like, what could I have avoided in that process? So many things. But at the end of the day, just sticking with it gets you so much further than just doing nothing at all. And I wish I could tell you that I've had, months of perfect weeks of, getting the laundry done and everything. But the reality is I don't. I still mess up. And another truth to that is that I'm not called to be perfect. I'm called to be purposeful. And with being purposeful, that's sometimes coming to the end of my strength and saying, God, I can't do this without you. And in fact, we probably actually should live like that all the time. I'm not doing this on my strength, but on your strength, God. And I'm pretty sure you know the verse, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Now, Paul, the author of the book of Philippians in the Bible, was in prison when he wrote that because he was preaching the good news of Jesus Christ. Now, if he can say that he knew how to be strong through Christ's strength when he had nothing and then when he had so much, I'm sure that God will do the same for us. And so there's still days that, I still have to push myself to just get the thing done. And sometimes I want to dwell in my feelings and dwell on how stressful it is and anxious ridden I am and how things aren't working out the way I want them to. And I've tried everything, God, like, why don't you hear me? But I want to also tell you that God is so real, y'all. I want to share this quick story. So in my bathroom, I have a verse, and it's Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 7 through 8. And I'm going to read them to you real quick. But blessed are those who trust in the Lord and have made the Lord their hope and confidence. They are like trees planted along a riverbank with roots that reach deep into the water. Such trees are not bothered by the heat or worried by long months of drought. Their leaves stay green and they never stop producing fruit. That was Jeremiah 17, verses 7 through 8. And I put that verse up in my bathroom probably 2 months ago, just, thinking, I really love this verse. I think it's awesome. I want to read it to remind us, okay, we need to trust God. Even in seasons that things don't go well, the leaves are going to stay green. We're not going to stop producing fruit because our trust is not in ourselves, not in our jobs, not in our money, not in our health, nothing other than God. And so in Sunday school this past week, this was part of the 2 passages we were going through, and I volunteered to read it because everyone, I think, was still trying to find it in their Bibles. And we read verses, I think, 5 through 8. And so as I'm reading it, I get closer to verse 7 and I realize, oh my goodness, this is the verse that is in my bathroom. And I, to be completely transparent with you, got laid off from my job a few weeks ago. And it has been an interesting experience because it's the first time that had ever happened to me. And I just haven't really, been in this unknown territory. But when I got to verse 7 and verse 8, even in this group in front of people, I started tearing up. And as I got closer to the end of the verse, I said, I'm so sorry. I'm tearing up because we have this verse in our bathroom. And so I see it every day. And in that moment, I just realized how real God is. And he is so just there. It sounds silly, but he hears your prayers. He sees you in the tough circumstances. He sees you fighting this, spiritual battle, but also this physical battle against your flesh to, do the right thing, do the best thing for you and your family. Say no to distractions. Say no to talking to people who gossip and maybe slander others. Say no to that. Even maybe it's a guy who keeps, trying to talk to you and I don't know, persuading you to do something. I don't know if that's for someone listening, but I see the thing that you are fighting because I used to be there. And more importantly, God sees you because he knows everything about you. His word also says that before you were even conceived, I knew you. And so this episode definitely went in a different direction, but I just want to encourage you with that. And I just hope and pray that as we come to the end of this year, I know I keep bringing it up. It's only November, not even December yet, but I really encourage you to take the time to prepare and to pray and even fast if God is calling you to do that, because you just don't know what he can do. This whole year for me has been just wow, God, look what you can do in a month. It's just been insane with all these different changes happening. And so I just know that he can do the same thing for you. And so, just pray and pray every day, every moment that you have that you're worried about something, just give it to him. So I'm going to end it there. I also want to encourage you, if you want to sign up for the free day 1 module of the Chaos to Calm workshop, the link is in the show notes so you can check it out. If you want the full 5-day workshop, the link will also be in the show notes for that as well. You can sign up for 5 days, $17, costs less than, coffee and a breakfast burrito. So anyways, I hope this encourages you. I hope it challenged you. Go ahead and share this podcast episode with someone who could use it, and please please leave me a review if this encouraged you. I hope you have a good one. Bye bye.